Hi Reddit. You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning, look out the window at the mountains, hear your kids laughing in the kitchen, smell fresh coffee, and think, this is it. I made it. I have everything. I had that feeling every morning for 12 years. My name is Jacob Mitchell. I'm 40 years old. I live in Denver, Colorado, in a neighborhood that local realtors call the jewel at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Our house sits on a quiet street where neighbors know each other by name, where on weekends it smells like bacon from the grill, and in the evenings you can hear coyotes howling in the distance. I'm a structural engineer. I work for a company that designs bridges and roads all over the state. It's not the kind of job boys dream about, but it feeds my family, lets us travel, and saves for the kids' education. I'm not a millionaire, but I earn every cent honestly. My wife Vanessa is a stay-at-home mom. But if you pictured a woman in a robe, with curlers in her hair watching soap operas, you've never met Vanessa. She was the CEO of our house. She had a daily planner scheduled to the minute, color-coded sticky notes on the fridge, budgets in Excel spreadsheets, and 5-year plans. She knew when the kids needed new shoes, when my mom's birthday was, when property taxes were due, and what coffee I preferred in the morning. She was the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect woman. Our kids are twins, Cole and Mia. They're 10 years old. Cole is my copy. Thoughtful, loves building with Legos, asks questions I can't answer. Mia is all her mother, artistic, emotional, could charm anyone with a smile since birth. They go to the same school, same class, and still consider each other best friends. We were that family people look at with envy. Our friends said, "You're lucky. You have real love." Vanessa's parents adored me. My mom adored Vanessa. We celebrated every holiday together, vacationed together, grew old together, and made plans for the future together. I believed it would always be like that. It started about 2 months before the day I found the lighter. At first, they were small things. The kind of things a normal man doesn't notice. Vanessa stopped kissing me when I left for work. It used to be a ritual. She'd walk me to the door, hug me, kiss me, wish me a good day. Then it turned into a casual, bye, over her shoulder because she was busy with something in the kitchen or on her phone. Then she stopped cooking my favorite meals. Fridays used to be lasagna day. I looked forward to it all week. But one Friday, there was no lasagna. Just some light vegetable casserole that I can't stand. "Oh, I thought you should start eating healthier," she said when I asked. "You're getting a belly." I wasn't getting a belly. I go to the gym 3 times a week. But I said nothing. Then she stopped sleeping with me. "Headache. I'm tired. You snore. The kids might wake up. Early day tomorrow." The excuses got more creative. At first I got angry, then hurt, then resigned. I thought, it's a crisis. It happens. We'll get through it. I just need to give her space. I gave her space. Mistake. Chapter 3. The cold. By the end of the 2nd month, the space had turned into a frozen wasteland. Vanessa talked to me like I was an annoying neighbor asking for salt. Short, dry, emotionless. She looked through me. When I walked into a room, she walked out. When I tried to talk about us, she changed the subject. And the nitpicking began. "You didn't take out the trash again. The trash was taken out that morning. You chewed too loud." I chewed the same as always. "You put the mug on the wrong shelf in the dishwasher." Seriously? That's a problem? You're going bald, and it's disgusting. That one hurt. Yes, I was starting to get a receding hairline. I was self-conscious about it. I bought shampoos, tried treatments. And she knew how much it bothered me. Knew and used it as a weapon. "Look at Mark from House 24, she'd say. "He bought his wife a new car. And you? You don't even give me flowers. Did you go to the parent-teacher conference? Oh right, you were working. You're always working. The kids barely see you. You're a stranger to them. Do you even notice me? I'm just empty space to you." I swallowed it all. I thought, maybe she's right? Maybe I am a bad husband? Maybe I work too much? Maybe I don't pay her enough attention? I started trying harder. Came home earlier from work. Took the kids on weekends so she could rest. Tried to talk, hug, kiss. She pulled away like I was a leper. "Don't touch me," she'd say. "It makes me sick." I started going to work with a weight in my chest. I stopped smiling. Coworkers asked if I was okay. I said yes. Nothing was okay. And Vanessa, meanwhile, was flourishing. She lost weight, bought new clothes, younger, more revealing. Started going to the hairdresser more often. Did her nails. Bought new makeup. She glowed. She smiled. She hummed when she thought I couldn't hear. I thought, she's coming out of depression. That's good. Things will get better. I was blind as a mole. It happened on Saturday, October 28th. We went to the mall to buy things for the kids. We were driving back in Vanessa's car, a dark blue Chevrolet Suburban I'd bought her 3 years ago for her birthday. She loved that car, said it made her feel like queen of the road. I was driving. Vanessa sat next to me, scrolling through her phone, not talking. As usual, the kids were arguing about the tablet in the back. I spilled coffee on my shirt. Normal thing. Coffee was in the cup holder. I turned sharply, some splashed out. I reached for the glove compartment where there were always napkins. Opened it, and froze. The glove compartment was perfectly organized. Vanessa was a neat freak. Documents in a neat stack, car manual, phone charger, pen, notepad. But among all that, I noticed something foreign. A small silver lighter. Expensive. The kind sold in tobacco shops for $50. Engraved on the side. I held it to the light. BR 4.20. BR Brian? Or Brandon? Someone's initials. I turned the lighter in my hands. Vanessa doesn't smoke. I don't smoke. Where did this come from? Vanessa, I asked, holding out the lighter. Where did this come from? She glanced at it briefly and shrugged. Not a flicker of emotion. No idea. One of the kids probably found it on the street and threw it in the car. Throw it away. The kids found an expensive engraved lighter on the street? And threw it in the glove compartment? Jake, how should I know? Maybe someone at school gave it to them. Throw it away and stop stressing. I wanted to throw it away. Honestly. But something stopped me. Some little bell ringing in my head. I put the lighter in my pocket. That night, I put it in my desk drawer in my office. Just in case. Just so I wouldn't forget. A week passed. Vanessa got even colder. The nitpicking intensified. Now she criticized everything. How I ate, how I breathed, how I walked, how I parked in the garage. You do this on purpose, don't you? She'd hiss. You're trying to make me angry? No, Vanessa. I'm just living. Exactly. You're just living. And me? I deserve more. I deserve more. That phrase came up more and more. The next Tuesday, I took Vanessa's car for service. She asked me to fill up the tank and get it washed. I was sitting in line at the car wash, bored, looking around the interior. In the back seat, in the pocket in front of the right passenger seat, I noticed something shiny. I reached in and pulled it out. It was a plastic badge. A gym membership pass. Not the gym Vanessa went to. A different chain, a different part of town, on the other side of the city. On the badge was printed a name, Brian Rogers. And a photo. A man around 35. Buff, with a trendy beard, a smug smile. Typical gym bro. I stared at the photo, and my insides went cold. Vanessa goes to Denver Fitness on 6th Avenue. Near the house. She goes 3 times a week in the mornings. Why would she have someone else's badge from a different gym? I photographed the badge with my phone. Put it back. Decided not to ask yet. That night, when the kids were asleep, I went to that gym's website. Looked at the schedule. Instructors, classes, all normal. Then I went to Vanessa's Instagram. Scrolled through recent posts. And I found it. 3 weeks ago, she'd posted a photo at the gym. In the background, a mirror. In the mirror, the reflection of a man with a beard standing nearby, looking at her. The same one. Brian Rogers. I zoomed in. No doubt. I closed my phone and went to bed. Didn't sleep all night. November 10th. I went into her car's trunk to get the kids' sleds. Winter came early this year, snow fell in October, and the kids wanted to go sledding. Opened the trunk, and saw them. Men's sneakers. Nikes, expensive model, bright red. New, not even dusty, no dirt stains. Size 10. I wear size 9.5. I stood there staring at them. Thoughts raced through my head. Maybe she bought them for me as a gift? Maybe she forgot to give them? Maybe they belonged to someone else? I took the sneakers and went inside. Vanessa, what are these? She was at the stove making dinner. She saw the sneakers. For a second, panic flashed in her eyes. One brief second, then her face went stone. Oh, those. I bought them for a charity sale at church. They were collecting things for the homeless. Forgot to give them away. For the homeless? I repeated. New Nikes worth $200? You bought them for the homeless? Yeah, well, she turned back to the stove, kept stirring. I thought they'd be useful to someone. People throw away worse things. What's it to you? Are you monitoring my every purchase now? I'm not monitoring. I just asked. Well, don't. And when was the last time you did anything useful for the community? All you do is work and criticize me. Maybe if you spent more time with your family, we wouldn't have problems. She deflected again. Masterfully, professionally. I said nothing, but I didn't give back the sneakers. I put them in the garage on a shelf with the tools. Just in case. I started watching. Not literally. I didn't hire a detective or sit in the bushes. I just started paying attention. Taking notes. Analyzing. Vanessa said she went to her friends on Wednesdays. Girls' night, chat, drink wine. I checked her friend's Instagram. On Wednesdays, she posted photos with her husband. At home, watching TV. No girls' nights. Vanessa said she went shopping on Saturdays. Alone. I need time to myself, to think. I checked her credit card. No purchases on Saturdays. At all. Vanessa said she was late from yoga. Yoga ended at 8. She came home at 11. We were chatting with the girls after class. What girls? I didn't know. I started checking her phone when she left it unattended. Risky, I know. But I had to know. She was smart about hiding messages. WhatsApp and Telegram were empty. But I went into her Google account. Checked location history. Wednesday, November 1st, 7 p.m. Gold's Gym, on Colorado Boulevard, 10:30 p.m., departure. Home at 11 p.m. Saturday, November 4th, 3 p.m., same gym. 7 p.m., departure. Home at 8 p.m. Wednesday, November 8th, 7 p.m., gym. 11 p.m., departure. I opened the map. Gold's Gym, on Colorado Boulevard. Next to it, the Red Rose Inn. A cheap motel that rents by the hour. I knew that place. We'd driven past once and Vanessa grimaced. How disgusting. You'd have to really hit bottom to end up there. Now she was going there. Not to the gym, judging by the timing. She was at the gym for an hour or two. The rest of the time, next door. I closed the browser. Sat in the dark. My world was crumbling and I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. Lay next to her, stared at the ceiling and thought. About us. About the kids. About what would happen next. About how we got here. Vanessa slept peacefully. Sometimes she smiled in her sleep. What was she smiling about? Memories of him? I could have caused a scene. Could have woken her up, shoved the location printouts in her face. Could have thrown her out. Could have beaten the crap out of this Brian. But I didn't. I decided to do things differently. I'd let her leave on her own. I'd see how far she'd go. And when she made her move, I'd be ready. I started building a file. Every time she left, I wrote down the time. Every time she came up with a new excuse, I documented it. I saved screenshots of location history. I photographed the lighter, the badge, the sneakers. I found a receipt from the motel in her purse. She'd forgotten to throw it away. Friday, November 3rd, 9:47 p.m. Red Rose Inn, paid in cash. I put everything in a folder. A folder that sat in my safe in my office. And I waited. It happened on Friday, November 17th. I came home from work early. The kids were at my mom's. She'd taken them for the weekend. I walked in and knew immediately. Something was different. Vanessa was sitting in the living room. On the table in front of her was a cup of tea. She was wearing a new dress, hair done, makeup on. She looked like she was going on a date. Jake, she said, we need to talk. Okay, I sat across from her. I'm listening. She took a deep breath. Put on a pained expression. Like in the movies. Jake, I can't do this anymore. I'm unhappy with you. I tried, really. I tried hard. But you don't notice me. You don't pay attention to me. You work all the time, and when you're home, you're on your phone or watching TV. You don't talk to me. You don't see me as a woman. I deserve to be happy. I said nothing, just watched her. I met someone, she continued. He understands me. He sees me. He values me. I've fallen in love with him. And I'm leaving to be with him. She stopped, waited for my reaction, probably expected me to drop to my knees, beg, cry. Or scream, break furniture, threaten. I stood up, walked to the safe, opened it, took out the folder, put it on the table in front of her. What's this? She asked. Open it. She opened it. First page. Photo of the lighter with the engraving. Second, screenshot of the badge. Third, photo of the sneakers. Fourth, printout of location history from her Google account. Fifth, receipt from the Red Rose Inn. Sixth, screenshots of her Instagram with Brian's reflection. She stared at it, and her face changed. First confusion, then fear. Then panic. How did you? She whispered. How? You hide your tracks poorly, Vanessa, I said calmly. My voice didn't shake. Lighter in the glove compartment. Badge in the seat pocket. Sneakers in the trunk. Receipt in your purse. You didn't even try to hide. I don't know what this is. Don't lie. Enough lying. You've been lying to me for 2 months. You humiliated me, insulted me, nitpicked every little thing to make me feel guilty. So that when you left, everyone would think, poor Vanessa, what an awful husband she had. You wanted to leave clean. You wanted me to be the guilty one. She was silent, stared at the table. But I'm not guilty, Vanessa. I'm not a perfect husband, but I didn't deserve what you did to me. I didn't deserve to be poisoned for 2 months, to go crazy thinking something was wrong with me. You lied. You betrayed. You fucked some guy in a cheap motel while I sat with your children. Our children, she said quietly. No, I shook my head. Now they're just mine. She started crying, theatrically, beautifully, with trembling lips. Jake, forgive me. I didn't mean to. It was a mistake. Stop, I cut her off. Don't. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. If I hadn't found this evidence, you'd have left right now, trashing me, and been happy. No more lies. I'm tired of lies. She fell silent. You'll leave, I said. But not how you planned. You'll leave in shame. I pulled out my phone. Dialed. Hi, Mom. You're on speaker? Good. I want you to hear something. Vanessa, repeat to your mother-in-law what you just told me. Vanessa went white. No. Jake, please. Repeat it, or I'll tell her myself. She said nothing. I told her myself. Everything. Calmly, factually, without emotion. My mom listened. Then she said, Son, I always knew she wasn't who she pretended to be. You deserve better. I hung up. Then I dialed her parents. Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds? Hello. This is Jake. I have news. Your daughter. Jake, please. Vanessa screamed. Don't. They're my parents. You should have thought about that when you were spreading your legs for Brian. I told them everything. Her father was silent. Her mother gasped. Then her father said, Jake, we didn't know. We're so sorry. You're a good man. You didn't deserve this. Vanessa was sobbing loudly. Then I dialed our best friend, Lisa. Lisa? Hi. Remember how Vanessa said she was at your place on Wednesdays? What? Lisa was surprised. She hasn't been here. We haven't seen each other in a month. Thanks, Lisa. I'll call you back. I hung up. Looked at Vanessa. You wanted to leave clean? You wanted everyone to pity you and hate me? Now everyone will know the truth. Every detail. Every piece of evidence. I won't stay silent. I'll tell everyone. Friends, neighbors, teachers at school, other kids' parents. You won't leave as a queen. You'll leave as a woman who betrayed her husband and then tried to blame him for it. She stared at me in horror. Pack your things, I said. Be gone by evening. Tomorrow morning my lawyer will contact you. You'll see the kids as the court decides. And don't even think about threatening me or writing nasty things. I have everything I need to leave you with nothing. Understand? She nodded. 3 hours later, she left. 2 suitcases. Everything else stayed, including her wedding dress. After she left, I went upstairs to the bedroom. Our bedroom. The room where we'd slept for 12 years. Where our children were conceived. Where we'd laughed, cried, loved each other. I opened the closet. Her wedding dress hung there. White, lacy, delicate. Just like she was on our wedding day. I took it down, looked at it. And then I saw it. On the closet floor, under the dress, was a tie. Bright red, silk, with a stupid pattern. I picked it up, smelled it, smelled of men's cologne, the same one I'd smelled in the car. He'd been here, in my house, in my bedroom, in my closet, while I was at work. He'd undressed her, he'd thrown his things, I clutched the tie in my fist, walked out of the room, closed the door. I never went into that bedroom again. I slept in my office until the divorce was final. I hired the best lawyer in Denver. A woman named Patricia Goldman. She was known for stripping husbands to the bone, in court, but in my case, she was on my side. Patricia looked at my file and whistled. Mr. Mitchell, she said. You don't just have evidence here. You have a ready-made movie script. With this proof, we can demand full custody. That's what I want, I replied. There will be difficulties. She'll fight. Courts usually favor mothers, but with her systematic lying, gaslighting, and attempt to make you the guilty party, we have good chances. Vanessa hired a lawyer who specialized in portraying husbands as abusers. At the first hearing, he tried to paint me as a tyrant who suppressed Vanessa, controlled her, and didn't let her breathe. "Your Honor," he said, "my client was a victim of psychological abuse. She sought comfort elsewhere because her husband made her life hell." I sat and listened. Then Patricia spoke. "Your Honor," she said, "I have evidence that completely refutes the defense's claims." She presented my file to the court. The lighter, physically, photos of the badge, sneakers, receipt, printouts of location history, Instagram screenshots, and most importantly, footage from the motel security cameras, which I'd requested through my lawyer and obtained by court order. The video showed Vanessa's car entering the Red Rose Inn parking lot, her getting out. A few minutes later, a red Mustang pulling up, Brian getting out, the meeting, hugging, kissing, and going into a room. 3 hours later, coming out, kissing again, driving away separately. The judge watched silently, then looked at Vanessa. "Mrs. Mitchell," he asked, "do you have anything to say?" Vanessa opened her mouth, closed it. Her lawyer went pale. "Your Honor," he began, This is my client's private life. Private life ends where lies in court begin." The judge cut him off. "And where children's welfare is concerned, I issue a preliminary ruling. The children stay with the father. The mother will have supervised visitation pending a final decision." Vanessa cried, not theatrically this time. The hardest part was explaining to the kids. We sat in the living room, me, Cole, and Mia. I gathered my courage and began. "Guys, I need to tell you something. It's hard, and I'm so sorry you have to hear this." "Where's Mom?" Mia asked. "Did she leave?" "Yes," I said. "Mom won't be living with us for a while. We're getting divorced." "Why?" Cole frowned. "Because." I hesitated. "How do you explain to 10-year-olds that their mother cheated? That she lied? That she tried to make me the guilty one? Because Mom did something very bad. She hurt me very badly. And I can't live with her anymore. Is it because of us?" Mia's voice trembled. I hugged them both. "No, my darlings. It's not because of you. You have nothing to do with this. Mom and Dad love you very much. We'll always love you. We just can't love each other anymore." "Will we see Mom?" Cole asked. "You will, but not as often as before. The court will decide how often. But you'll see her," Mia cried. Cole held on, but his lips trembled. I sat with them, holding them, stroking their hair, feeling my heart shatter into pieces. I hated Vanessa in that moment. Not for what she did to me, but for what she did to them. The divorce process lasted 6 months. Vanessa tried to fight for custody. She went to therapists, collected certificates saying she was a good mother. She wrote me letters apologizing, begging for another chance. She threatened suicide if I took the kids. I didn't react, just forwarded everything to my lawyer. Eventually, the court issued its final decision: full custody to me. Vanessa was allowed to see the kids twice a month on Saturdays, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., with a therapist present. Child support was minimal. The court considered that she didn't work. I kept the house. She got the car, but I kept the Suburban. It was bought with my money and registered to me. She got her parents' old Honda. Brian? He vanished from her life a month after the divorce. When he realized Vanessa wasn't getting the house, the money, or custody, he bailed. Word is he found another woman, younger, no kids. Vanessa ended up alone. She called me, cried, said she'd made a mistake, wanted to come back. I hung up, blocked her number. The first year was hard. I learned to cook, learned to braid Mia's hair, learned to help Cole with math homework, even though I hated it in school. I took them to therapy, to parks, to movies, to the mountains. I tried to make sure they never felt abandoned. On Saturdays, when they went to Vanessa's, I sat at home staring at the wall. I didn't know what to do with myself. The house without them was empty. But gradually, it got easier. The kids adjusted to the new routine. Mia stopped crying at night. Cole started smiling again. We laughed more often. I found a therapist for myself. Went once a week, talked it out. Learned to trust people again. Learned not to blame myself. I met Lauren a year after the divorce. We met at a parent-teacher conference at school. Her son Jake was in the same class as Cole. She was divorced too, like me. Her husband left her for someone else when Jake was 5. She hadn't become bitter or cynical. She stayed kind, warm, alive. We started dating. Slowly, carefully. I was afraid of getting burned again. She understood. 6 months later, I introduced her to the kids. Cole and Mia accepted her. Jake became friends with them. We started spending weekends together, going to the mountains, grilling steaks, watching movies. Lauren didn't try to replace their mother. She was just a friend who was always there. And that was enough for the kids. 2 years have passed. Vanessa married Brian 3 months after our divorce. They lasted 6 months together. Then he left her. Now she lives alone in a small apartment in the suburbs. Works as a cashier at a supermarket. Sees the kids once a month, and sometimes doesn't show. The kids don't want to go to her. Mia says she's boring. Cole says she complains about life all the time. I don't force them. The court let them decide if they want to see their mother. Sometimes she texts me, holiday greetings, asks how I'm doing. I reply politely, briefly. No anger, no warmth, just formality. I haven't forgiven her, but I've stopped being angry. Anger eats you from inside, and I have people to live for. I'm sitting on the porch of my house. In front of me, the Rocky Mountains stretch out, covered in snow. In the backyard, Cole, Mia, and Jake are building a snow fort. Lauren warms her hands on a mug of tea and smiles at me. Inside, it's warm, smells like pie. Tonight we'll watch a movie. I remember that day I found the lighter. That coldness in my chest. That terror. That pain. And I think it was necessary. To get me here. To teach me to value what I have. To make me understand that happiness isn't in a perfect picture, but in real people who are beside you. Vanessa wanted to leave clean. She wanted everyone to think I was guilty. She wanted to leave me in the dirt while she flew off into the sunset with her new prince. But she left traces. In the car. In my life. In the children's memory. And me? I stayed clean. Not because I'm perfect, but because the truth was on my side.